But if she's been hurt, why, then, do you yourselves bring her out in front of that same society in your newspapers and demand that it not hurt her? Mad. Vainglorious. They don't believe in God, they don't believe in Christ. You're so eaten up by vanity and pride that you'll end by eating each other, that I foretell to you. Isn't this havoc, isn't it chaos, isn't it an outrage? And after that this disgraceful creature goes asking their forgiveness. Are there many like you? What are you grinning at, that I've disgraced myself with you? Well, so I'm disgraced, there's no help for it now. And take that grin off your face, you stinker. She suddenly fell on Hippolyte. He can barely breathe, yet he corrupts others. You've corrupted this boy for me, she pointed to Kolya again. He raves about you only, you teach him atheism, you don't believe in God, but you could do with a good whipping, my dear sir. Ah, I spit on you all. So you'll go to them, Prince Lev Nikolaevich, you'll go to them tomorrow? She asked the prince again, almost breathless. I will. Then I don't want to know you. She quickly turned to leave, but suddenly turned back again. And you'll go to this atheist? She pointed to Hippolyte. Why are you grinning at me? She exclaimed somehow unnaturally and suddenly rushed at Hippolyte, unable to bear his sarcastic grin. Lizaveta Prokofyevna. Lizaveta Prokofyevna. Lizaveta Prokofyevna. Came from all sides at once. Mamun, it's shameful. Aglaya cried loudly. Don't worry, Aglaya Ivanovna, Hippolyte replied calmly. Lizaveta Prokofyevna, who had run up to him, seized him and for some unknown reason held him tightly by the arm. She stood before him, her furious gaze as if riveted to him. Don't worry, your Mamun will realize that one cannot fall upon a dying man. I'm prepared to explain why I laughed. I'd be very glad to be permitted. Here he suddenly began coughing terribly and for a whole minute could not calm the cough. He's dying, and he goes on orating, exclaimed Lizaveta Prokofyevna, letting go of his arm and watching almost with horror as he wiped the blood from his lips. What are you talking for? You should simply go to bed. So it will be, Hippolyte replied quietly, hoarsely, and almost in a whisper. As soon as I go home tonight, I'll lie down at once. In 2 weeks I'll be dead, I know that, last weekend Forty told me himself. So, with your permission, I would like to say a couple of words to you in farewell. Are you out of your mind, or what? Nonsense. You must be treated. This is no time for talking. Go, go, lie down, Lizaveta Prokofyevna cried in fright. If I lie down, then I won't get up till I die, Hippolyte smiled. Yesterday I wanted to lie down like that and not get up till I die, but I've decided to postpone it for 2 days, while I can still use my legs in order to come here with them today, only I'm very tired. Sit down, don't stand there. Here's a chair for you. Lizaveta Prokofyevna aroused herself and moved a chair for him. Thank you, Hippolyte continued quietly, and you sit down opposite me, and we'll certainly talk. Lizaveta Prokofyevna, I insist on it now, he smiled at her again. Think of it, today I'm outside and with people for the last time, and in 2 weeks I'll probably be under the ground. So this will be a sort of farewell both to people and to nature. Though I'm not very sentimental, you can imagine how glad I am that it all happened here in Pavlovsk. At least you can look at a tree and leaf. What's this talk now? Lizaveta Prokofyevna was becoming more and more frightened. You're all feverish. You were just shrieking and squealing, and now you're out of breath, suffocating. I'll rest presently. Why do you want to deny me my last wish? You know, I've long been dreaming of somehow getting to know you, Lizaveta Prokofyevna. I've heard a lot about you, from Kolya. He's almost the only one who hasn't abandoned me. You're an original woman, an eccentric woman, now I've seen it myself. You know, I even loved you a little. Lord, and I was really about to hit him. It was Aglaya Ivanovna who held you back. I'm not mistaken? This is your daughter Aglaya Ivanovna? She's so pretty that I guessed it was her at first sight earlier, though I'd never seen her before. Grant me at least to look at a beautiful girl for the last time in my life. Hippolyte smiled a sort of awkward, crooked smile. The prince is here, and your husband, and the whole company. Why would you deny me my last wish? A chair! Cried Lizaveta Prokofyevna, but she seized one herself and sat down facing Hippolyte. Kolya, she ordered, go with him at once, take him home, and tomorrow I myself will be sure to. If you'll permit me, I'd like to ask the prince for a cup of tea, I'm very tired. You know, Lizaveta Prokofyevna, it seems you wanted to take the prince home with you for tea. Stay here instead, we can spend some time together, and the prince will surely give us all tea. Excuse me for giving orders like that. But I know you, you're kind, so is the prince, we're all so kind it's comical. The prince got into a flutter, Lebedev rushed headlong out of the room, and Vera ran after him. That's true, too, Mrs. Epanchin decided abruptly. Talk, then, only more softly, and don't get carried away. You've made me all pitiful. Prince! You're not worthy of my having tea with you, but so be it, I'm staying, though I ask nobody's forgiveness. Nobody's. Nonsense. Forgive me, though, if I scolded you, Prince, though only if you want to. Though I'm not keeping anybody, she suddenly turned to her husband and daughters with a look of extraordinary wrath, as if it were they who were terribly guilty before her for something. I can find my way home by myself. But they did not let her finish.